Are we off the what the fuck did we read train yet?
Any book where swords cross is typically a winner,
This
as
escalated real quick.
all she can think about is him and that damn popsicle. We did say it was just basically an erotica, folks.
I like how we sound where you turn this into
Okay, sorry.
an astrology podcast. Are you guys ready to get stuffed prior to Thanksgiving?
Oh my crystal.
How's it going?
Okay.
Yeah, how tired are you?
Little.
I
I've
ask
been,
after you yawn.
well, I think it's more because I've just kind of been a little lazy today.
Yeah, I mean,
And I
we're
just
we're allowed
ate
to be lazy.
two grilled
Uh,
cheese sandwiches, so it's making me a little sleepy.
you know.
They had grilled cheese at school yesterday, so I had to go to the store after school to get the rest of the stuff I needed to get make grilled cheese. Because I had cheese and bread, but I wanted like fresh sliced tomatoes and stuff, and
Mm.
and I wanted pepper jack sliced cheese because I didn't have pepper jack sliced cheese. I had like a different kind. It was a thing. I wanted what I wanted, so I needed to go to the store to have the grilled cheese that I wanted today.
That's so funny. You're so funny.
I'm not even that person that really likes grilled cheese a lot, but when I'm in the mood, I want a grilled cheese.
You know what? I was the same way. I had the same thing. I wanted grilled cheese and like tomato soup not that long ago, and I was like, I need it like
Yeah.
now.
But I'm the same way like with like hot dogs. Like really don't want hot dogs or like
Mm,
donuts. Like I really don't want them unless I'm
yeah.
in the mood and then I want it. There's these
Yeah.
weird foods that I could care less about, but if I'm in the mood, I need to have it. But there's plenty of foods that I will eat literally all the time. So that's why it's
Yeah.
weird. Like get me a bowl of salad and I will eat that all the time. Mashed
Yeah, I
potatoes, that sounds fantastic.
oh, well, yeah. I fuck with mashed potatoes all
Right.
day. Love that
Steak,
shit.
abso-freaking-lutely. Chicken pie, sign me up. But like there's just
Do I
certain
want to
things
make
that
any of it? No.
well, that's why I've been so lazy about salad lately. I'll just buy like that pre-made bag and then I'll mix it with like this 50-50 spinach mix and I dump
Yeah.
both those things into a thing and then I grab some cherry tomatoes and I dump that in. If I'm feeling homey, I'll slice up some cucumbers and then I'll slice up some cheese. And then if I'm feeling spicy, I will take a jar of
Spicy.
if I'm feeling spicy, I'll take a jar of banana peppers and dump out the juice and then dump the whole jar into the salad bowl and be like, voila, I made a salad. Is it a real true salad? Not at all, but it works for
Close
me
enough.
and it's great.
I mean, close enough to a real salad, I think.
Yep. I'll put whatever meat I have in the house on it because a lot of times I'll just make a thing of chicken breast for like the week and stuff. And voila, I have salad.
I mean,
And I
yeah,
really don't care what meat I put on salad. Like right now, I have leftover barbecue pork in the fridge. I'd put that on salad. I don't care. Put it on.
that's funny.
Eat
Ugh.
it up. I almost put
Eat
the
it
barbecue
up.
pork in my grilled cheese, but I
Really?
was just really lazy and didn't want to cut it up. I need to confess to Angie that I made a grave mistake
Oh,
because in my excitement to just start ordering books for her for Christmas,
yeah.
I did not realize that the new covers only go up to like book 8
Oh,
or
for Ice Cream the
7. Yeah.
Barbarians. Yeah.
And I was just clickying. So like I
Um,
have I have a couple of the new covers because
mm-hmm.
but then I have
The old covers.
old covers and now I have to like be like, do you want me to return them?
I know I'm so torn because I want to keep getting more of them, but it's the same thing. I've been
And it's
waiting for
slow.
like,
Yeah.
I get
Like
it.
the ninth one or whatever doesn't even come out till January.
I know. The struggle.
Yeah. We can't win them all.
No. Did we win this week though?
I don't know, did we?
Are we off the what the fuck did we read train yet?
I'm gonna leave that in your hands
Let's not leave it in my hand.
because my standards are a little more extra. Was this week as unhinged as previous
No.
weeks? No. Did we basically just read erotica this week?
Yeah.
Yes. Are we mad? Not that much.
Nah, I'm not that mad.
No.
Did I know what to expect? Kinda, yeah. Actually, for the first time, I feel like the description actually mostly fit what we were supposed to be reading,
Yeah.
which has been nice because that
For,
has not happened in a
for the
while.
first time in
I'm in forever.
forever, the blurb matched what we read.
Dude, it's been a real fucking struggle bus trying to match
Can we
things.
continue this? Yeah. Right.
No.
Well, so we'll just be nice about it then. And this week we read Why Not Both by Kristin Lance. And Why Not Both is an MMF poly romance book.
And that's all you need to know, folks. I don't even feel like there was much conflict.
Nope.
Realist, like,
Nope.
it was
And
smooth.
honestly, to me, any book where swords cross is typically a winner. So you had me at swords.
I was like most of this book.
I know.
It's so funny because like at some point I was like, okay, so like is she involved at all? Like is he gonna just leave her for him? Because like I would have been fine with that, but
Yeah,
I wasn't. I don't know.
you know,
But it was healthy. They were healthy together
the
and
vibes were vibing.
no one was jealous and it was great.
They were just doing their thing.
They were just fucking.
All right, well, let's get into it. Yara, our female main character, is waiting by the door when her best friend, Kai, pulls up. Her husband, Casey, is teasing her for so eagerly bouncing at the door. She's hasn't seen Kai in a while and she's excited. Kai had been away for a grad program in another state, but he was finally back in Oregon. Kai is staying at Yar's brother's cabin until he finds a more permanent place. Yar greets Kai once he's at the door, and then they make their way to the kitchen where Casey is now preparing food. Or at least they try. Yar runs right into the back of Kai as he stops short, right in the doorway, fixated on watching Casey with a popsicle in his mouth as he cooks over the stove. We got to the meat of the blurb real fast.
Yeah, that went real quick. As soon as I saw the percentage, I was like, oh,
Yep.
real fast.
His actions with the popsicle are a little erotic, maybe more than a little. So much so that even Yara has to admit how hot it is. Casey finally feels the stares and looks up in confusion, breaking the spell as Kai and Yara dissemble into a fit of giggles.
It's just the most innocent. What's going on in this moment?
Oh, I thought you were talking to somebody else for a second. It was so convincing. You were like, "What?"
It's talking to you.
I know, but it was such a what
Oh,
moment.
what? What?
I just got distracted by your tone for a second. Yeah, like I don't get it. What?
Why is everyone staring at me? It's just a popsicle.
Well, that I'm just happened to be deep
That I'm
throating.
just, I was just gonna say that. I'm just deep throating a popsicle. I don't see the big deal.
Kai even makes a comment on it being a very happy popsicle. Casey still acts confused. He's not that confused. He acts confused, but he offers everyone else a popsicle of their own. Kai taking him up on the offer and giving a show of his own, eyes locked on Casey the whole time until he bites the tip off his popsicle,
Then he makes a little noise. So funny.
which causes
Oh,
Casey to eventually resume cooking. And Yara steers the conversation about the cabin that Kai will be staying in down the road. Casey encourages her to give Kai a tour of it while he finishes cooking their meal. Yar's brother isn't great with the upkeep, and Kai has agreed to fix things up in lieu of rent. Her brother travels a lot and is rarely ever there. Yar gives Kai a tour and lets him settle in. A few days later, Yara is working in her studio. She is a glass blower. Her friend Autumn is hanging out with her while Yara works. Autumn is chatting about forgetting how hot Kai is before he came back. Yara reminds her that Kai is gay. Yara lets her mind wander back to watching Kai watch Casey with that popsicle and how it created all sorts of erotic scenes for her. Next thing she knew, the vase that she had been creating accidentally became a dildo. Oops. Autumn finds this hilarious.
It is pretty funny. Not gonna lie.
Autumn wonders if this could be an amazing new line for her and her glass blowing. Yara considers this endeavor, and consider she does. She even purposefully experiments with making several more over the next few days until she has one that she wants to test out on Casey.
For me, okay, her thought process onto how all of this was gonna go before knowing like their dynamic, I was like, wow, she is real confident that this is gonna go that way. I was like, well,
She, she
that's a
just
left
walks in. It's
turn.
like, I see how this is gonna go. We don't know these people yet. We're still
I
learning.
I'm aware.
Yara and Casey are both switches, and Yara wants her turn and to take it to the next level. She explains this to Casey as they get ready for bed one evening and begin to get frisky. She tells him she wants to play with him and have him be her tester. Casey's hesitant but agrees. Yara preps him and then pulls out her latest creation and uses the glass dildo to fuck her husband. But at the end of this scene, it's really weird because then he asks her to leave the butt plug inside him and she agrees. And I need to point out that a butt plug and a dildo are two separate things.
They
You
are two
can't,
very different
very,
things.
very separate things. And one is
There
not
was a
going to just
couple.
stay inside you.
No, there were a couple things
Oh,
throughout this.
this really needed to be edited. Yeah.
Uh-huh.
On a whole, this really needed to be edited. But
I only highlighted one section and I was like, yeah, but he already said this.
yeah, I highlighted like a lot of issues.
Yeah,
But
we're not there.
yeah,
Anyways, continue.
but yeah, you can't describe one for the entire exchange and then have it turn into something else. But apparently, it's going to stay a butt plug because the next day, when Yara invites Kai for dinner and he's in the kitchen talking to Casey as Casey's cooking, their cat comes in, batting the butt plug around like a yarn ball.
This cat is the main character.
Absolutely.
I could love this cat so much.
Between the cat and Casey offering him another popsicle, Kai books it, saying he has to get back. Apparently, he's not staying for dinner. Kai needed to get home to relieve himself of how horny thinking of Casey and Yara together makes him. I want to point out that time is very jumpy without a consistent flow in this book. We hop around quite a bit and it's just like sporadic and jumpy. I wish it just flowed better, but I just want to say that before it just sounds so disjointed as I say it.
Yeah, the time was weird.
I mean, at least it mostly told us when it was happening, but it would just jump to
Yeah.
random points that without
Yes. And I was like,
flow.
oh, okay.
Yeah.
Sounds fab. We're here now.
So we hop to days later. Casey is at Kai's door. He had come to invite Kai to come along with Yara and him to a resort opening weekend for his work, since he helped to design it. Their cat, Bruce, slips in and darts into Kai's place, distracting them. Bruce tends to have a habit of finding the oddest things to play with, and sure enough, he comes out batting around a condom. Kai scoops it up and makes a joke about Bruce being his wingman as they talk about Bruce's oddities. And they get talking about the trip. Kai tries to find reasons why he shouldn't intrude on the couple's getaway, but Casey assures him that it will be fun and allow Kai and Yara to get to spend some time together before Kai starts his new job. Kai agrees, and Casey says they plan to leave that evening. And then they part ways to pack. Kai packs in no time at all, and then apparently all of a sudden it's evening because then they're packing up the car.
I just love how much this man was discussing how great it is to be this nudist place and this, and blah, blah, blah. And then as he's packing, he is like, "What do I pack? I guess I can pack this bathing suit and this bathing suit." And I'm just thinking, bitch, he literally just told you y'all swim naked. So I don't
Yeah.
know why you're
Well,
bothering
they
with the
said clothing
swimsuits.
optional.
Yeah,
So it's not,
probably
it's an
heavy on the
option.
option.
Yeah, but yeah.
Okay, let's stay delusional, folks.
Yeah. So once the car is all packed up with their bags, they set off. A couple hours later, they arrive at their beautiful destination. Casey stopping to check in and then finding their cabin. The cabin with only one large bed and an indoor-outdoor pool. So that's cool, but one bed, which has
A king
Kai
size bed, okay? It's a king size
panicking,
bed.
with the resort being clothing optional, as Casey keeps pointing out. Yara is like, husband, let's talk. She's like, what the fuck is going on once they're alone? He asks for patience. She says he brought the three of them to a romantic cabin and then basically said, let's be naked, and now wants patience. He says, trust that he has a plan, that he knows that she has fantasies about watching her husband with another man. Don't worry, he has backup plans if people don't want that. He gives her a bathing suit, well, if you want to call it that, and tells her to go put it on in the bathroom while he plans to talk to Kai. Casey talks to Kai and tells him what he wants. Kai tells him that he's done that before, sleep with a married man or their wife and everything. But what made him decide this? Casey tells him the popsicle.
Okay. I'd be like, okay, the popsicle did it for you, huh?
The men
Solid.
un the men undress, ogling each other, and get into the pool. Yara comes out in her barely there bikini, and Casey tells her it's time to play. Casey sits on the bench in the pool and tells Yara to have a seat. Casey tells Kai to come stand in front of them. Casey reaches for Kai's dick and begins to stroke him.
This
As
escalated real quick.
Yeah, as Yara reaches over to stroke Casey. Right? It's like, oh, I think I want us to play. Okay, we're playing now. Casey stands up to kiss Kai at Yara's instruction, and then he kisses Yara. She tells Casey all she can think about is him and that damn popsicle. So he drops to his knees to take Kai into his mouth.
Because
Yara,
that's rational.
Yara sliding down next to him to play with Casey until Kai comes down Casey's throat. Wham bam, thank you, ma'am.
And this is when he learns he's bisexual, folks.
He had inklings with the popsicle. Okay.
Yeah, I know, but
It was like,
I was like,
whoa.
so this is okay. Sounds fabulous. That's great.
Luckily, in their marriage, they had experimented a lot already, you know.
True. True.
Casey then grabs Yara, pushes her up against the pool wall, and fucks her intensely as she meets Kai's eyes as she comes. Casey finishes and then asks Kai if he wants to lick her clean. Kai admits he doesn't know how. Casey says that he will show him. Kai asks Yara if she's okay with it. She says if he is, he's gay. He doesn't have to. Kai tells her he's not gay. He likes men and
She has
women.
to be
He's
like the
bisexual.
most
Oblivious.
unobservant woman I have ever. And like it was just so funny because
Like
like the amount of time
even
she's
her
like,
husband.
he's gay. Like he's gay. And I'm like,
I think she
baby
was just like
girl.
trying to rationalize it in her mind, her
I
own
guess
attraction for
so.
him. And that's why it was like.
Baby girl.
Casey tells them to move to the bed for this new learning experience. They get to the bed and Yara ditches the scraps she was wearing. Kai gets to experimenting, figuring out what Yara likes as Casey kisses her and supervises. Casey tells Kai he wants to watch him fuck her. That escalated too. So he does.
Yep.
And then Casey fills her mouth at the other end until they all finish. They wake up the next morning, all entangled in bed. Casey starts massaging Kai's ass until Yara asks if he wants to fuck Kai, and Kai says, please. And Casey says yes and grabs the lube. We did say it was just basically an erotica, folks.
Yeah. And it was basically a lot of just the men fucking each other.
Casey fucks Kai hard, and then he instructs Kai to fuck Yara, all of them having a grand old time. They had a great weekend getaway that apparently continued back at home, and we next hopped to Casey helping Kai move his stuff into his new office at work. He got a job as a professor at the university. They pull up, and a douche of another professor is waiting for them to give Kai his keys to his office. It's Doctor, the guy tells him when they call him professor. Buddy, all three of them have doctorates, you asshole. So,
Yeah, and
Casey,
only like the super pretentious dudes are like, actually, it's Doctor,
right? Casey puts him in his place. And then,
as he should.
right? And then the men snicker and say they should play doctor with Yara later because they're both doctors. A few days later, Casey heads to work while Kai and Yara soak up a few extra minutes under the covers until Kai's phone goes off. It's that other professor from the other day, Calloway. Dr. Calloway. He's asking to meet Kai before their staff meeting to discuss something important. Yara says she'll come along since it's at a coffee shop. They go. Kai spots Calloway and heads over while Yara chats with Autumn, who's also there. Kai returns and tells them that Dr. Calloway basically told him that he needs to worry about his reputation and be less promiscuous because him and Casey were all flirty in front of him. Another hop later, and Yara ran an errand, leaving instructions to Kai and Casey to get themselves ready and primed for her return. When she's back, she instructs Kai to fuck Casey until they're both a pile of goo. When they can catch their breath, they focus on Yara, working together on her with their mouths. They plan to actually all make it to sit down for dinner, and they are all excited for their mini date night. But when Kai arrives, Yara has news. Her brother called. He plans to come back in 2 weeks. They were all a little awkward in their heads through dinner, and in the morning, Casey is confused that Kai left early to go look at an apartment. Yara explains again about her brother. Casey is all like, well, why wouldn't he just move into their house? Yara's like, if that was his plan, he probably should have shared it with Kai. Ya ding dong. Men.
So I agree. I agree on that part, but at the same time, it's so weird because they have so much communication until they don't.
And so little communication at the
And
same time.
it's such like a, it was
Yep.
weird. I was like, okay, you're gonna communicate, but you're not gonna
Yeah,
communicate.
it's like,
But
yeah.
okay, sounds great, bros.
Yeah. Because they're all in their little anxiety-ridden heads. So they're not communicating about those little anxious things. Yeah.
Men.
Yara agrees that Kai fits with them perfectly, but it is a big step, and they don't know that Kai wants that. They need to find out. They need a plan. They need to show Kai what he means to them. They plan to turn their spare bedroom into an office for Kai. They spend all day making it happen. When Kai comes home, they pounce on him, working together to go down on Kai. Casey instructs Yara to straddle Kai. Then Casey comes in from behind to DVP her. Yara blurts out that she loves them both, which freezes Kai, but then everyone exchanges love all around. When they all finish, Casey and Yara tell Kai they have a surprise and bring him down the hall to his new office. Casey asks Kai to move in. Kai says yes. 2 weeks later, they have dinner with friends to celebrate. Also, Kai talked to the university. They're cool. They have a strict, non discriminatory policy about relationships and all that. Calloway sees them out and is a dick again and gets told off again. He even like threatens to tell the university, but Kai's like, good luck, buddy. And then we have an epilogue. It's months later. Yara is inserting glass butt plugs into both her men, a staple in her new successful line, before they take their places at their wedding-ish ceremony. And then Casey fucks Kai while Kai fucks Yara. And I'm not quite sure what kind of ceremony it was. It didn't go into great details since Yara and Casey are already married. It was probably just kind of like a for friends party thing, but there we are. That was our book. And yes, it was a shorty kind of book,
And welcome to the
not
shortest episode we have
the
ever fucking
dicks.
had.
It was a short book. I would you like to add anything?
I guess not. I mean, her parents were super cool with like their whole
Yeah.
situation and
Well, I
everything.
figured
Like,
we'd talk about that with the favorites and all that
uh,
jazz. So yeah. What'd you
I
think of
was
this?
well, there was a lot
Yeah.
of sex, not plot. The plot
No. No.
was not,
That's why it was
which
a
is fine.
faster run through because it was
That's true.
basically
That's
mostly
true.
erotica.
That is true. Wasn't basically, it was.
Yes. Yes.
It is honestly, it what an interesting. Anyways, I'm looking at the categories in Amazon for this.
Oh,
It's number 28 in fantasy erotica, number 63 in bisexual erotica. So
that's odd.
that's what I made that face. Okay.
Fantasy erotica. Is it because so Kai thought he was gay for a long time because his first boyfriend told him that there's no such thing as bisexual because it right like it wasn't
Is
real.
the fantasy part that bisexuals exist?
Right. That's is
Is
that
that the fantasy part?
right? Like is this
I don't know. I don't know. Okay.
okay? I am disappointed with
Okay.
all the talk about popsicles
They
that
didn't
no
utilize
one
them.
used any popsicles.
I know. They licked each other like popsicles, but that is not
But they didn't
the same
use
thing.
actual popsicles.
Popsicles. I know. That was a little disappointing.
I just saw a review that says that this story has way more plot than this author's normal books.
What?
That this story isn't as
Oh,
steamy as
uh,
this author's typical books, and that this
what?
book has more plot. So, what the fuck does she normally write? I
What?
kind of want to know now. I want to know. I'm gonna look.
What?
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, she has a
That's
book called That's Not How These Things Work.
what the fuck? Okay. Well, that's wild. I guess before we get into too deep of thoughts, who was your favorite character?
Hold on.
Okay.
She has a book that literally is called Swords Will Cross. So maybe that is why this book has more plot because these people actually had conversations with one another and there was like friends involved and that weird professor. I'm sorry, doctor. She has a book called What My Husband Craves, one that's called My Husband's Naughty List by Curious Husbands,
Summoned
one that's
on
called
Halloween.
Two Men Are Better Than One. I just like that. That's not how these things work.
I like that too. That's funny.
Oh, so sorry. So, yeah, who was your least favorite character?
The professor dude.
Yeah, yeah. Either that or the boyfriend that,
Yes, that thinks that bisexuals don't exist.
yeah.
Got you. Those people exist in real life, by the way.
Oh, I'm
Bisexuals too,
aware.
but like the people who think that we don't.
Oh, I'm aware.
Who was your favorite character?
So, on a random turn of events, I'm going to say the parents,
You know what?
because
I was
all
also gonna
of
go there.
these parents seemed very supportive
They were so
when they
supportive
talked in
and
conversations.
loving and open, and they basically knew.
They knew their children. They had
And
good enough relationship with their children that they seemed to know their children.
and they accepted them with open arms. It was either going to be that or the cat.
Oh yeah, Bruce.
Bruce
Yeah,
was great.
sorry, possibly Bruce, the wingman,
We'll do both. We
the
can
wing
do
cat,
both. The wing cat.
the wing cat, the wing cat.
So, Amazon gives us a 4.1 and Goodreads a 3.8.
What did you rate it?
I hadn't rated it yet because I read it this morning.
But you finished it, so you can rate it
I
after you finish it.
did. Yeah. Probably like a 2.5, maybe. Maybe a 3.
That's what I was teetering on too, was a 2.5 or 3. I think I ended up putting a 3 only because swords, but it really needed to be edited. It
Yeah.
was,
There
it
was
needs editing bad.
there was this one section. I mean, there was a lot, but
Yeah.
there was one in particular, and because I ignored a lot,
Yeah.
because I usually do, and as I'm sure everyone knows, I usually just speed through, call it a day. But just I highlighted it said, "You still haven't given us an answer." He says yes, and I'm like, he did though. He said
Right.
yes.
Yeah.
Page before.
He did. He did. I know. I was like, at that point, I was like, I'm not highlighting it anymore.
You know
Like,
that was at 87% of the book.
yeah, I was like, I'm not highlighting more of the mistakes.
Yeah, that was wild. So,
Yeah.
I mean, and there
Cucumbers.
was
Oh,
like,
sorry.
oh no, it's okay. There was some like spelling
Yeah.
mistakes, some grammar. There
Just
was some
weird shit.
mistakes.
Weird
Yeah,
shit.
so I mean, it is what it is, but it was short.
It was short, but I want to point that out because almost all the reviews I saw said it was well written.
Okay.
And I was very confused because I was like, did we read the same book? Or is it well written compared to her
Honestly,
other books?
honestly, considering some of the books that we've been reading recently where people have also commented the same thing, maybe we are just not reading in the same bracket of books. That was really mean. I'm so sorry. I don't know what is with me this month. I am like extra
Are
spicy.
we, or are we delusional? Are we in a like, are we the delusional cult over here?
We are a cult now.
Right. Are we
We
the
started
delusional
it,
cult?
remember?
Yeah. Welcome to our cult.
It's fun here sometimes.
Cucumber ratings,
Um,
since this book was mostly erotica.
okay. Here's the thing. It was good. There was enough in here. There was a lot of sword crossing. My disappointment came with I understand they
The lack
did
of
do
popsicles.
that. They did do a sandwich, but the amount of times they talked about how many times they wanted to
The amount of
decommission.
opportunities that they could have had a
Thank
sandwich.
you.
Yeah.
They only gave it to her once. And like, yeah, it was a great sandwich, but like, can we do
Yeah.
multiple
Yeah.
sandwiches?
And they
Like,
did like the trainee kind of thing. Yeah.
yeah, like
Yeah.
I wanted well, that's
I
greedy.
want
I know
more.
that was so greedy, and I'm usually not the greedy one in this relationship here. It's usually you. So
Yeah.
with that, I'll
It's the
probably give it
Taurus
a
in me.
solid. Bitch, listen. I think the Aquarius in me is just like lying dormant right now. You know what? It's lying dormant under like a layer of depression. So
Well, it better wake the fuck up.
I know.
You're supposed to be entering your villain era or some shit. You're supposed to be ridding
Maybe,
shit now so that you can enter.
maybe the villain era is the villain era on myself.
I know why mine's so bad because it's Aquarius, Taurus, Leo, and somebody else. But and am
Spicy.
I I am a Taurus with a Leo moon. So
Mm.
I'm getting like double freaking whammy. And I'm just like, no.
I don't think I remember what mine is. I think mine's a Capricorn moon, to be honest. I don't fucking know. It's a
Yeah.
good question. What's my moon?
You'd have to put in your birth chart. Your
I know.
shit. Oh, do you want me
I
to
got
put you in?
this.
Hold on. I have the app. Hold on. Because I got sick of
What?
asking Angie and I just downloaded the app.
You're so fucking funny.
You, ma'am, have a Capricorn moon and you are a rising Virgo.
That sounds like a problem. Just kidding.
Possibly.
Well, I see. So, Moon Capricorn, it is being useful and productive are basic needs for the lunar Capricorns. Because they generally keep their emotions under check, those with Moon in Capricorn come across as competent. However, however
Oh,
turbulent their
dude.
emotions may be under
Your
the
emotional
surface,
fucking shit is in the tank this week.
that's probably a why.
Yeah.
Lunar Capricorns stay cool-headed. Oh, that explains a lot. So that's fun for me. Mercury is in Capricorn. I'm Venus is in Capricorn. My Mars is in Sag. Jesus fucking Christ. A lot of Capricorn.
Yeah. Your sun is in the fifth house. Interesting. Okay.
I like how we sound where you turn this into
Okay. Sorry.
an astrology.
All the stupid TikToks. So,
I have a lot of
and your
a
moon
lot of
sign is what they always do with your like parent relationships with your kids. And it's your kid's moon sign that matters or
wonderful.
something like that. Anywho, so yeah, I I'll give this 6 cucumbers.
Yeah, I could do that. Like there was a good amount. It's just the problem again was just
I know we want
I
more.
wanted I wanted certain
I
things.
want
I
more.
want more.
Survivability, I would be just fine.
What is sorry, side note, what is your moon in for you?
Leo.
So isn't Grace's.
Oh,
Sorry.
oh, I'm so sorry, ma'am. What's her rising sign? Is it a Sagittarius?
Hold on, let me look. Give me one sec. Her rising is oh. Can we just give me
Mhm.
Sun is in Taurus, blah blah blah. Moon is in Leo.
Well, that always explains why we were so in sync when she was younger and we were just like vibe.
Taurus, Sun, Aquarius rising.
Okay.
Both, yeah. So that's interesting. So yeah, she is her rising sign is in Aquarius and her
But
moon is
it's
in
not
Leo.
that far off from mine because I'm a
No,
Sagittarius rising. Interesting. But like I said, I would survive.
Oh yeah, sorry. I would survive as well. I'm
I was
so
bringing you
tired.
back. You're okay.
No. So, Stuffed by Hannah Murray is what we're reading next, guys. So you're welcome. Congratulations.
Next week on the Smutty Book Club.
Why stuff the turkey when they can stuff her? It's Thanksgiving.
It's a good
Two and a half
question.
years, yeah, 2.5 years after lockdown began, and Tuck and Esme?
As I would assume it's like Esme, like
Don't bring Twilight into
yeah.
this. I knew you were gonna go there. Welcome to November. We're tired. You're lucky you got
The
us sitting up, right?
yeah, we actually contemplated doing this in bed.
Anyways, Esme Parrish are deciding how to celebrate. Normally, they'd have dinner with either his folks or hers, but with travel restrictions no longer a factor, both sets of parents are taking advantage of spending the holidays elsewhere. With a chance to craft the day to their taste for a change, they decide to host a Friendsgiving. The guest list is small, just four
Friendsgiving.
friends: Spence, Jude, Evan, and Colin. Realizing she'll be spending the day with her sexy husband and four single sexy friends,
So
some who had
five
crushes
men?
on some who had crushes on her in college, and one of whom she's already slept with, Esme makes a joke about all of the filth, friends I'd like to hump, coming to dinner. Which gives Tuck an idea. Why not turn Friendsgiving into Bangsgiving? When lockdown hit, it put a halt to a new and exciting element of Tuck and Esme's sex life: swinging. It started as a way for Tuck to indulge his
No.
candilism, a desire to show off his wife, but he soon discovered that sharing gorgeous, curvy Esme with other men was even more fun for both of them. They were just finding their groove when lockdown happened, and though their sex life is still exciting and fun, they've missed that extra zing that swinging gave them. And Esme had a group adventure on her swinging to do list for a while. Hey, it's Thanksgiving. What better time to get stuffed?
Candleism.
Sounds fab. So, are you guys ready to get stuffed prior to Thanksgiving?
Oh my crystal.
We are going to
Oh
stuff your ears and stuff your eyes.
my.
And in this book has five dudes. So,
And Crystal picked it.
and I did, yeah. This was me.
Oh my goodness.
So, anyways, just so you know, someone lost interest at masks and COVID testing. So, you know it's going to be a fun book. That's one of the one stars reviews says it had potential, but I lost interest with the masks and COVID testing. I stopped reading at that point.
That's another one of those people that we were talking about that don't think that things exist. Yep. So they probably were talking the beginning of why their
This
parents didn't like
literally
fly
talks
out or
about
something.
this literally talks about lockdown
Yeah.
and post lockdown.
Yeah.
So
So
get locked down with us 4 years after COVID and let you get stuffed for Thanksgiving
and make sure to keep reading.
and keep it smutty.
Oh fuck.
Oh, fuck.